Coming up on City Spotlight, we are on location once again here in Season 6, this time in Effingham. We'll first talk with Norma Lansing of the Effingham County Chamber of Commerce about the latest economic development in Effingham. Plus, we'll have a look ahead to some upcoming chamber-related activities and an update on the Effingham Regional Career Academy. And then we'll sit down with Superintendent of Effingham Unit 40 Schools, Mark Doan, about the Career Academy and physical changes going on in the Unit 40 School District. We'll have the latest going on in Effingham here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. We're on location once again, this time in Effingham, as we tape here in the third week of July, and we're going to start this portion of the program taping here at the Effingham County Chamber of Commerce, and we welcome back to the program a familiar guest to the program, the President and CEO of the Effingham County Chamber of Commerce, Norma Lansing. Norma, great to see you again.
And great to see you, and thanks so much for coming to Effingham. This is great.
I love
You picked a beautiful day to come.
It is a beautiful day, a beautiful drive. We'll
Yeah.
have a little video later in the segment with Mark Doan in the schools, and
Cool.
we last had Norma on. I believe it was when the new John Boo's facility opened, so
Yep.
that was a little while ago. Norma, before we talk about a variety of things,
Sure.
just give us a quick economic development update here as we are in the third week of July.
Okay. Well, you mentioned John Bowes, and about a year ago, they relocated their local store, and it's out here by the interstate, and it is a beautiful facility. So if you get a chance, I definitely encourage you to check it out. It's quite something, and it brings a lot of attention to Effingham because we have that. There's always a lot of things going on here. Starting with, I was thinking about what's happened in the last few weeks. We had a great groundbreaking over into Topless at Farmweld a couple weeks ago. They're building a new corporate headquarters. Just a very exciting project. They're very employee focused, so this facility will be with their employees in mind. It'll have ping pong tables and workout rooms and things like that because they're really about making sure their employees are happy, so they'll stay employed with them. So that's an exciting project, new project.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of moving downtown. We always have lots of great things going on.
Yes.
So the Midland States Bank just last week had a open house on their new Lofts facility, which is taken the old bank building downtown and turned it into a beautiful residential facility for their key executives who come into town. So it's magnificent. What they've done with an old bank and really made it sparkle and shine again. And we have another old bank downtown that the owners just bought last year. They're looking at similar types of things. They'll probably do more of a commercial space on the first floor and then residential space on the second floor. But a couple of really exciting projects. Jefferson Avenue through downtown is under construction right now.
Saw the road work on the way here.
So, but you always have to have those things happen to make the community better. Yes. The neat thing about that is they're building in some outdoor seating space for some of the restaurants and bars down there. So there'll be great space for people to sit outside and enjoy the weather, the temperatures downtown and the scene. Some other things that have happened recently, Village Wine Shop, they just completed a couple of years ago a major renovation of their building downtown on the corner of Jefferson and Banker. Okay. And they last year opened a rooftop lounge, which is really nice, a nice view of downtown. Beautiful. Myers store is still on the schedule to build and open a retail store here in Effingham out by Kohl's. Mm-hmm. We the governor just announced in the new capital campaign or capital funding that Route 40, Fayette Avenue through Effingham is going to be widened. That's a project that's been on the drawing board for about 15 years. So
a lot of people smiling on that one, aren't they?
Well, yeah. We're also trying to figure out how that's all going to happen. So that's, all these things make the community more attractive for people. We were just talking at our board meeting about the chamber is launching a program called Show Up and Serve, and the idea is, all these small acts of kindness that we do really add up to something big and really makes your community stand out. And so, we're taking a week in September, devoting it to the idea of just serving others, serving your community, serving your family, serving your faith, serving your neighbor and people that, maybe they're strangers to you, being charitable in your giving. So we've got some exciting, fun things. That whole week's going to be a really neat adventure. And as we talked about, that's another thing that really makes people want to come here when they see things like that, when they see the community reaching out and giving back.
Working together. And tell folks at home when the Show Up and Serve Week will be?
September 15th through the 21st.
Okay, very good. To piggyback on your comments, I heard, talking about buildings being repurposed into something else. That's a great thing to hear about communities, because I sound like a broken record talking about communities with you community leaders. And sometimes these buildings, they don't make it. They get torn down, but it's great to hear about repurposing
Oh,
buildings.
absolutely. Yeah, I hate to see some of those buildings that have already gone away.
Yes. Okay. You mentioned the Show Up and Serve Week. Briefly tell us a little bit about the Effingham County Job Fair. That's a little bit before the Show Up and Serve Week, September 10th.
September 10th, we're having a job fair. So people who are out there looking for better job opportunities, we certainly invite them to come. It's going to be from 11 to 4 at the Keller Convention Center on Tuesday, September 10th. We'll have businesses of all kinds offering all kinds of job opportunities. So we're just really kicking that off now, but going to be a great event. We always have a good turnout, a good, well-rounded group of employers who are seeking employment opportunities for people.
I'm kind of working backwards on my list
That's
here,
okay.
but that's perfectly okay. We're getting the
all
information
right.
out to folks.
Sure.
Tell us about the Business Outreach Center services.
Okay. The Business Outreach Center is a chamber supported program that really helps provide support for people who are wanting this, individuals who want to start a business, or an existing business owner who needs help in growing the business, selling a business, buying a business, whatever those needs are. This is about our third year. We've helped about 20 different people with different needs that they've had. Kind of came about as a result of the closing of the small business development centers in the state back at the end of 2016.
Right.
And so this is all done by volunteers. Like I said, we've got about 25 different people from the community. Some are retired, some are actively engaged in their business, but the other thing is they all want to give back. They want to help others be successful in their business. So, we just finished helping out a lady who wanted to buy our health food store. So she's been able to purchase that. She's expanding, relocating it. So really exciting opportunity. There's been a popular restaurant downtown that we helped, a pet grooming business, just all kinds of different needs that are out there. Or even, as talking about the health food store, even helping sell that business, get that business sale. So we've done a lot of things. It's free, confidential. We encourage anybody that is looking and having a need to contact us. Simple application process. We work very hard to connect people, the right people, together. So if, whatever your need is, if we don't have somebody already on our list, we'll reach out and find somebody that has the expertise. Because to me, if you don't, it doesn't help them if we can't hook them up with somebody who can really know their issue and help them resolve it.
Some of the things you've talked about, and our next thing we're going to talk about, a lot of helping and teamwork going on here in Effingham and Effingham County. And then something that we're going to talk about next, the Effingham Regional Career Academy, something that you're very heavily involved with.
Yes.
Mark Doan, Superintendent
Yes.
of Unit 40 Schools, who we'll have in our next segment. Already taped with him, and he had some comments about that.
Okay.
And he also, as we know, mentioned Lakeland College has a big investment in with it.
Sure.
So tell us from your perspective, your thoughts on that moving forward. It's obviously a facility that it's already happening, but the facility is down the road and people are very excited about it.
Absolutely. The Effingham Regional Career Academy is a career and technical training center for both high school students and adult learners. Lakeland College has been very generous. They're The facility will be located on ground that they already own, just south of the Cluthy Center, which is located here. They've also agreed to secure the funding to build the building. So it'll be a 36,000 square foot building that will be very flexible in the way we can use it. We've identified our first 5 curriculum areas based on feedback from our employers. So advanced manufacturing, healthcare, technology, automotive and transportation, and agriculture. Those are the 5 career areas that we're focusing on for the first classes that we'll be offering. So we're still working through the logistics of actually constructing a building and putting this classwork to get this curriculum together. But on the other hand, we've already been doing some training within the school system, programs like CEO and those kind of programs that have been in place for a long time have kind of lead the way for us to this collaborative nature between the schools. So we actually have students who are going from one school to a district to another school and actually sitting down in the classroom with students from other school districts together to learn, which is, would have not been heard of probably 10 years ago.
It's a great experience to work with people.
Absolutely. And so in those courses that their homeschool doesn't offer and they're interested in, they can go and get that education that they need. So really focusing on, what are the needs of the employers in Effingham County? That's number one for us, helping them secure employees that they can train who have the skills, heavy emphasis on essential skills. Some people call them soft skills. Some people call them employability skills. Lots of names. Essential skills is what we've kind of settled on as the name that we're using. But just those elements of an individual that they're very they know how to conduct themselves. They know how to reach out, look somebody in the eye, shake their hand. Just those elements of being a good worker.
We'll hear more comments about the Effingham Regional Career Academy in our next segment with Mark Doan, Superintendent of Effingham Schools, Unit 40. Norma Lansing, President and CEO of the Effingham County Chamber of Commerce. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Here on City Spotlight, updating us on a variety of things going on here in Effingham and Effingham County.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, appreciate
and coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll talk with the Superintendent of Unit 40 Schools here in Effingham, Mark Doan. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Effingham. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this on-location episode on Effingham. As you can see, we've changed locations now. We're at the Superintendent's office for Unit 40 Effingham Schools on South Banker. And we welcome back to the program a familiar guest, the Superintendent of Unit 40 Schools here in Effingham, Mark Doan. Mark, pleasure to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
And as we mentioned before we started taping, I believe this is your 3rd time here on City Spotlight, all 3 times in different locations, so we'll take you wherever we can.
That's fine. We appreciate you coming down and showcasing not only our school district, but also the city.
And we're glad to be here, and we talked with Norma Lansing from the Chamber in our previous segment. There's a topic that we're going to talk about with Mark that we also talked about with Norma, but before we do that, Mark, you've started your, as we tape here in the 3rd week of July, you're officially in your 9th year as superintendent here of schools in Effingham. Excitement of another school year.
Yes, we're having a little bit longer summer, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit later. But yes, we're, busy into next week will be August 1st, and school will be starting. We're going to start a little bit later, so we'll be later than most districts in the area. But it's always an exciting time. Families are trying to get in their last vacation. Teachers are itching to get back into the classroom, and kids, or at least the parents, want their kids going back to school. So it's an exciting time, and we're glad to be able to, in Unit 40, to be able to provide a great education for kids.
I mentioned to our folks at home when we're taping, folks are seeing this at the first half of August. So when is first day of classes here in Effingham?
Here in Unit 40, we're going to start later. It's going to be August 26th for for parents, or excuse me, for teachers, excuse me. And then students will start the 27th. And we're doing that because of some of the projects that we have going on. So about a week to 8 days, 9 days, a little bit later. So it's kind of a change for people, but we try to get that word out early so people understand that.
Before we get into the many facilities, upgrades or updates, things that are needed, what is the summer like for you between school years and as a superintendent? Give us a little behind the scenes of what it's like to work kind of in those few months between school years.
Well, it's interesting because many times I get asked at luncheon or something, do you work during the summer? And actually, we get quite a lot of work done over the summer. There's not as many meetings, there's not as many interruptions, and we also get ready and plan for the next school year. So our administrators are usually working through the month of June. Usually get the month of July off. It depends on if we have to hire people. But usually here in the board office, we're working 12 months out of the year. And quite frankly, while it may slow down on a daily basis, in and out, but there are a lot of planning and a lot of more work getting ready for the following school year. And so quite a bit gets done over the summer, more than what people think, I believe.
Let's talk about some of the things that are being worked on, have been worked on, and you mentioned that the later starting date because you have some physical changes going on, and we're going to start with Effingham Junior High, and you told me beforehand 3 summers it's been worked on. It's an 80-year-old building here in Effingham. Tell us what's been going on there.
This is the first of 3 summers.
Okay,
it's a $13.3 million project. It's a total renovation of the inside.
Wow.
The building itself is in 2 sections, a 1939 section and a 1962. And we call the 62 the newer section. So it's kind of funny there. But it's been something that the district has looked at for a number of years. And a few years ago, we looked at possibly trying to build a new junior high and so on. But the cost was prohibitive in regards to affording a new junior high. So renovation-wise, 95 to nearly 100% of the work is health, life, safety work, which is required. And so that started May 20th, the day after kids left.
Wow.
And has been going on all summer. Basically, we're looking at the basement and the first floor this year, and really kind of the exterior. We have a second gym. That's phase 1, and the main office. So phase 2 next summer.
Okay.
Every window will get replaced.
Wow.
Part of the HVAC's being put in this summer, but actually next summer is when it'll turn over to where we'll have central air instead of roughly 170 air conditioners, window air conditioners. So it'll be much more efficient. We still have a steam boiler, so that'll be gone as well. New electrical, new plumbing, new bathrooms. Basically, taking the walls down they're not studs, they're 14-inch walls. They're 1939 built and well built. So you can't find the bones of the building are wonderful. So it'll be a brand new inside out. We're limited right now in regards to what is outside being done.
Right.
Hopefully, in the near future, after this work gets done, that can be undertaken and spruce up the outside as well. But on the inside, it'll be brand new lights, ceiling, floor, bathrooms, total renovation. And really, again, like you said, 3 summers. So we're talking at the end of not next year, but the following year.
The next decade.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it will be. So
I looked at the calendar, and it's going to be 2020, kind of a strange year.
Yeah, so we're excited. We're excited that down to the wire here. It's like with any construction project, but they're putting in long days and they're doing good work, and so we're really excited about the outcome. And it'll just we're asking for flexibility for everyone for the next 3 summers, with the end result being a high quality learning environment for our kids. Another project that's going on is the Southside School. We're replacing about half of the building, the roof. Well, problem was there's asbestos on the underside of the roof, and so we had to remove that before we could replace the roof. And when we do that, then it tears up the ceilings. So we're having new ceilings and new flooring, new paint, and then also a new roof being put on half that building. And so I was over there this morning. It's on track. The contractor's doing a good job there. Had some asbestos abatement. So that'll be completed. And then we also have our early learning center, which is our kindergarten center, just south of town, not quite out of town. And we needed a new roof on there as well. Plus, we need the HVAC system need to be upgraded. It wasn't a school to begin with. It was an old printing building. And so we've needed to update that. That means new HVAC and then also new ceiling as well. So a new lighting. So we're excited that we're going to with the projects 2 years ago at the high school and at Central. You know, those buildings are pretty much up to speed. We'll get the junior high up to speed here with this project in 3 years. We still have South Side. We'll have half of that, and then ELC will be up to speed. So really, we're trying to get all our buildings in good shape here for the next 20 to 25 years, and provide a great learning environment for kids, but also a working environment for our staff.
Got to have a place for all that use it, like you said, whether students or the educators to educate them. As a superintendent, I imagine maintaining your facilities and planning ahead and seeing from those that work inside the facility, they see how the buildings are built, and to be able to work on this many buildings in your school district, it's going to make you feel good, but also, wow, done a lot of work.
Yeah, one project I didn't even mention is at our sports complex. That we have an excellent sports complex out there, and really proud of that. But the locker rooms, the heating elements there went out, and so we have to replace the two heating units, and that'll be done here in the fall. So that's a fourth project. Probably in retrospect, I'm not sure if we probably should have done all three, but the district, what we decided to do was to sell bonds, health, life, safety bonds, and one of the things we're really proud of, and we haven't had final confirmation of this, but we're looking at possibly not increasing the tax rate at all and selling over $15.5 million in bonds. And that doesn't happen very often. And so to be able to do the work and not have to raise taxes is a huge deal for the school district and our taxpayers and our Board of Education. And so we're really proud of that fact. Again, we haven't had 100% confirmation on that, but from the information that we do have, we're going to be pretty close. So.
Very good. Thank you for the update on many buildings getting some tender loving care, surely needed. We're going to talk about three more things with you here, Mark, on this episode here of City Spotlight. In our last segment, we talked about this item with Norma Lansing of the Chamber. Tell us about the role of Unit 40 with the Effingham Regional Career Academy. That's that project continues to move along, and we'll eventually see a facility.
Sure, we are, and you know what? We made some huge progress thanks to Lakeland College and their Board of Trustees and Dr.
Bullock.
Dr. Bullock in regards to taking that step, because they're finishing a project on campus right now. And, it's our understanding that the next project will be the Rural Development Building, which will be just south of Cluthe Center out here. Correct. And what that will house is the Effingham Regional Career Academy. And while we have classes going on now in different buildings in different districts, the idea is to have one area where students from all the region, and we're not talking just Effingham County. We're trying to make sure that students, not just students, but incumbent workers and those that are not in the school system, have the opportunity to gain skills, to gain employable skills that not only helps them but also helps our businesses. And we just talked about this at a recent chamber meeting again. So, the Regional Career Academy, we don't have that. We don't have that in our area. Yes. And so this is a huge plus. And Lakeland and Dr. Bullock have really stepped up in regards to, with the building part. Now, I also heard it's on the state list of capital programs, but funding hasn't been tied to that yet. So, but irregardless of that, I think it's going to occur. And we're looking at school districts to offer as many diverse learning opportunities for kids that we can, and also help meet the needs of our businesses. We've asked through the chamber, this is a partnership between the chamber, school districts, businesses, and then also Lakeland College.
Yes.
And that's what makes it so diverse and so strong. The fact is that we've asked a lot of businesses and a lot of people to come in and provide us feedback in regards to what is needed. Not so much what we want to provide those kids and let them go out to the workforce, but have them actually lead or direct the curriculum and what's needed for the area. Because the key is we want to keep kids here,
Right.
and we want to keep employees here, and that's a problem. You know, our unemployment in our area is very low, and so there are multiple jobs available now, and so we need, but we also need, from what we hear, we need employees that have the skills. And so that's kind of where the ERCA comes in, not only from an educational standpoint, K-12 aspect,
Yes.
but also the incumbent worker and a non-traditional worker and those types of things. So we can't be everything to everyone,
Right.
but we're trying to meet as many needs as we can for our business community and also for our citizens as well.
Topic that you have talked about, obviously Norma Lansing in our previous segment, and obviously I've had Dr. Bullock on several times here on City Spotlight. Great to hear about teamwork, everybody working together to build something that's going to be absolutely a tremendous asset for so many.
Sure. I mean, that's what I think sets this apart from, and this area apart from a lot of other areas that I've been in across the state. You know, I think we always deal with our little, what do we call maybe a little bit, our little kingdoms a little bit. We're all protective a little bit.
Yes.
But I think, you know, as we continue to work together, we see what's best for the county is best for Effingham, and what's best for Effingham is best for the county and the region.
Yes.
So we've really got to work together in regards, if we're going to grow this region,
Yes.
it's got to be regional. You can't just grow an Effingham. You can't just grow a Dietrich. You just can't just grow a T-Town or Altamont or Beecher City. You have to grow the region. There's just not enough people. And so, you know, the regional career, the Alliance group is trying, and the city and the county are all trying to work together to try to bring in, you know, some of those larger employers.
Right.
And that's how it's going to happen, is all working together and not working separately. And so that teamwork is key, and we're very happy to be a part of that.
Been catching up with Unit 40 schools here in Effingham as they start a new school year, and we thank again the time of the Superintendent of Unit 40 schools here in Effingham, Mark Doan. Pleasure. See you
Thank
again,
you.
Mark.
Appreciate you coming down.
And have a great 2019-20 school year.
We will. Thank
Very
you.
much. And that'll do it for this on-location episode on Effingham. We thank you for watching City Spotlight, and we'll see you next time. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.